Hi Aquarius, welcome to your reading. If you're new to the channel, I do timeless readings, which means that whenever you find this video is when you're meant to hear the messages within it. And in case you subscribe, I upload my new videos for Leo and Aquarius on Fridays. Also, for those of you guys who are interested, the deck that I'm using today is called the Mystic Mondays Tarot. And as always, if you're interested in a personal reading, my information is in the description below. I'm going to go ahead and take these cards. But I do want to say that, just as a final reminder, sometimes the cards like to flip over in the deck. I do see them. However, I only take the ones that jump out like these ones have. I'm going to go ahead and take out all, I'm going to go ahead and keep all these cards. But I do want to remind you guys that if you enjoy the reading, the best way to let me know is by leaving a like or a comment. But with your overall energy here, we have the High Priestess. And the High Priestess, to me, speaks about powerful intuition. Right, so I think that you guys right now are in a position where things are just kind of making sense. I feel like you're really able to understand a situation, perhaps even before it even happens, but for sure your intuition is really on point here. And I think even just more than your intuition, all of your feminine energy is really on point here, because certainly when you look at the High Priestess, especially this depiction, there is that component of her femininity that's very powerful. And I feel like this might even be intimidating other people. Like, your intuition is so strong that people can't lie to you, and they're trying to express something to you, or like maybe misrepresent something, and you straight up shoot them down and say, no, that's not how it is. This is how it is. And I feel like that eliminates a lot of ground that people have, or at least try to have over you. And as a result, I don't want to say people fear you, but they're kind of scared of saying the wrong thing to you because they know that you know. And I certainly feel that this is something that people feel around you, regardless of if they know or not. They certainly feel that you are very powerful right now. And even just looking at these cards, I see a lot of progression, because we have the Two of Wands into the Three of Wands, and then we have the Ace of Swords into the Two of Swords, which leads me to believe that you guys are really progressing and moving things along. Perhaps maybe even faster than you were in the past. But I do want to get started on this by rows. We have the Queen of Cups here, which further sort of compounds into this High Priestess energy, because the Queen of Cups is very much emotional and very powerful in her femininity as well. So anything right now that's emotions or intuitions, which intuition is also represented by the cups, is extremely on point. And the Queen of Cups is very nurturing, very empathetic, very much able to sort of understand on a deeper level. You're not understanding things on a surface level right now. You're really getting down to the nitty-gritty of it. And as a result, you're able to really make these plans that sort of leave people off their feet. Sort of like you're sweeping people off their feet. Knock their socks off is the expression that I'm getting. But here with the Three of Wands, I feel like you're coming off the tails of some other plan that you sort of drew up and executed, and now you're moving into another phase, or perhaps a different plan. Because the Three of Wands, to me, symbolizes the after period where you've already made your plan, you've taken action, and now you're seeing what the plan is, right? And then we're moving into this other new energy here where we have the Two of Wands and the Two of Swords. So the twos symbolize balance and equilibrium. And when I see the Two of Wands, I know that you have basically the world in your hands and you're creating a game plan to get whatever it is that you want. So the Two of Wands is very much an energy of preparing to move forward. And the Two of Swords is almost a little bit contradictory in the sense that it's energy of not being able to move forward and being in a stalemate, being indecisive. And I feel like that's only because you're waiting on this energy before you can move forward. So this to me doesn't feel like you're being indecisive. This to me feels like you're waiting on whatever this energy is so that you're able to move forward. And once you have this energy, just once you have all your ducks in a row, you have this Ace of Swords, which is a new beginning. So I see that you're able to execute your plan and move forward. And with this Justice card here, I certainly get that you're making things even. I feel like you have a bone to pick with certain people, and you've been putting off doing that for a long time just because the situation probably didn't call for it already. With this Two of Wands, I feel like, if you can imagine, there's almost like a Two of Wands over here off to the side of your previous plan, and I feel like at that point, it wasn't the correct time to really settle the score. But now I feel that you're entering a new period where things are able to be evened out, and you're really going to tell people, hey, you hurt me in this way, and this is what you deserve, right? And it's very interesting because we have all this like positive, powerful energy, and at first glance you would think that this is like part of your energy as well, but it's really not. This, I feel, is like what other people are going to experience after you bring in this moment of justice. So we have the Nine of Swords, the Five of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles, and the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So the Nine of Swords talks about stress and anxiety and not being able to sleep. Basically the opposite of any kind of tranquility. And I feel like that, coupled with this Four of Pentacles, means that people are going to be feeling this anxiety and not tell you or not want to tell anyone about it. The reason being is because the Four of Pentacles talks about keeping things to yourselves, secrets, being selfish with your resources. And I feel like it's not so much that they're not giving things away or they're not being charitable. It's the fact that they're not being open with these feelings of anxiety that are being caused after you basically tell someone off. And you don't actually have to go up and tell them or fight with them or whatever, but there's some element here of settling the score that maybe settling the score isn't the right word to use, but like making things fair, setting things right, like whatever phrase you want to use in your particular scenario, because I'm getting that there's a lot of scenarios for you. Some of them involve love, some of them involve family, some of them involve work. There's all these things, and for some of you it might be all three or a combination or even more, but there's this element of wanting to set things straight. And once you do, you're going to talk to, like, there's one person in particular, or maybe even multiple people, that are going to experience this Nine of Swords, this Four of Pentacles, and this Five of Pentacles as a result. Because the Five of Pentacles talks about being left out in the cold. So the fact that you're going to have this moment here, and I'm getting that a lot of you are going to cut this person off, because the Seven of Pentacles talks about really growing and staying with the situation, and the swords cut. So the fact that there's a new beginning and sort of this energy of not putting energy into a situation anymore leads me to believe that you're going to cut someone off, and that's going to make them anxious, and that's going to make them feel left out in the cold, but they're not going to want to tell you because of their pride. And I feel like that's going to really hurt this person, but I feel like they've really hurt you. So there's that element of getting back at them. But it's not even so much revenge that you want. It's that sense of everything being right with the world. because with this really heavy Justice card, I do also want to mention that the Justice is symbolic of Libras, so that might resonate in your situation. But I'm getting that certainly with this High Priestess, you feel like this is the correct action to take. You know it in your gut, and that's why you're doing it. But that was your reading for this time around, Aquarius. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like or a comment because it really helps out the channel. And I personally really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said before, I upload my new Aquarius readings on Friday. But in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless readings that I have up on the channel. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys next time for next reading.